So one of the things we've seen with a lot of people who have come on as new managed service customers is like it it's really not if something goes wrong, it's when. Because I think when you're working with a SQL server, when you're working with anything in tech, something will eventually go wrong. It's guaranteed. But one of the key things that we do is we take a real proactive approach to monitoring and support so that we can see those issues as they're starting to happen so that we can deal with them and get them dealt with before they become too much of a problem. An example of this is the other thing we do is a little bit of corruption repair here and there. And the thing we've seen with real world examples there is that someone calls up, they're not a managed service customer, and they say, I've got this corrupt database. And we get to talking to them, and they say, well, corruption was discovered last week, but it looks like it's been going on for about 8 months, and that we have backups, but they don't actually work, which means you don't really have backups. But that's the kind of thing, that's a real world example that's a tough spot to be in. And with that, with our managed service customers, we make sure that you will never be in that position. I mean, the top priorities are making sure that we've always got good backups and always able to get you back up and going if something does go wrong.
Well, going back to that like nickel and diming conversation that you said, once we have you as a managed service customer, even if we find that corruption or corruption happens, it's a covered item. It's covered under the services. It's not like we're saying, hey, you're gonna have to pay 10, 20, $30,000 to fix this. It's no, we are working with you. We are gonna fix that now.
Yep. Perfect example of that is one of our managed service customers that we've worked with for, gosh, I think about 6.5 years now. Great customer. We love working with them. But month 2 or month 3 with working with them, they got hit with ransomware. It was unrelated to anything we had done. It came in through some other systems that we weren't part of, but it eventually got to the SQL server. And in that environment, it took completely rebuilding all of their SQL servers in their environment and restoring from backups and completely rebuilding from scratch. And that's something that between Derek and I, who were the two working on it at that point in time, we probably spent close to 80 hours. I don't know. Story probably changes over time as I tell it, but probably about 80 hours getting their entire system back up and running. And it was a difference between whether they would have been in business or not. And in doing that, 80 hours times any hourly rate exceeded what they pay monthly. But we didn't charge them any extra that month because it's just part of the service. We know other months it might seem like maybe there's a little bit less being done, and it just all balances out. And we know that we would rather have a happy customer for the long term, even if it means we've got to work our butt off one month to do far more than we normally do. We're happy to take that on to keep the customer happy and to keep the systems running.
I think that's how a lot of people actually end up finding us too, is it starts either as like a corruption repair or something has gone wrong. And first thing they do is, Google help. And we've popped up a couple different times. And even if it doesn't start out as a managed service customer, it starts out as even just something small, and then they work into it.
Okay. So I guess, that's one of those things that with that, once you're a managed service customer and we're working with you, we have all the tools, we have database health monitor in place, we're tracking things. And rather than having that traditional like break, fix, reaction thing where something goes wrong and we react and fix it, yes, we will do that if it happens. But we're doing ongoing performance tuning, health checks, and custom optimizations to make sure that the databases run at their peak efficiency. And we have alerting and things like that in place so that oftentimes we know that something's going wrong before the system goes down so that we can react and deal with that so that it does not go down. Mm-hmm. And one of those, the key tool set that we built around that is database health monitor.